And I keep saying to journalists especially, you have to distinguish authentic synodality from contaminated synodality. Because a lot of topics have come on the table that have nothing to do with synodality.
What would you say are some of those topics that were brought up during the first gathering of the Synod? What was some of that contamination?
For example, you jump into the Synod hall and you spend 2 days arguing about ordination of women. If they want to, those are things that belong to the Pontifical Theological Commission or LGBTQ. Should I bless homosexuals or not? What has that got to do with being church, moving forward together, and a synodal church where everybody listens to everybody? Why do we spend 2, 3, 4 days arguing whether the word LGBTQ should enter the document or not?
Hello guys, welcome back to Christianity Reloaded. Today we are talking about this synodality. Currently there is a synod on synodality going on in Vatican City. As you see in this video clip of how this bishop from Africa is talking about, he's involved in that synod, and he was talking about how for 3 days in that assembly, synod assembly, is the stuff that occupy the talking point, that take 3 days of time wasted in this kind of topic. And when they define synodality, they say that it's joining together of people of God. And joining together the people of God, and they didn't stop there because they give more, they try to explain it more, elaborate on this definition. They say that it indicates a way of listening to each individual person as a member of the church to understand how God might be speaking to all of us. You see, even this definition is not clear, because the people of God have been joining together. If somebody is not joining together, he will go and start attending other Christian branches, what I mean, their services. But people in Catholic Church have been joining together and listening to each other as well, because this, why that this synodality, what they said it means is not what they are talking in this agenda, because they say it's listening, but this listening just means that listening to a particular minority in the church, which, as you see in this bishop's analysis, what took the time for 3 days, listening to. And it's stuff you think that they're gonna take serious, and they devote more time in fighting. They are not doing that, and they are telling you is listening. Because if they are listening, they should know that number one concern, number one stuff that blackmails every Catholic in the world is when they hear that one prominent figure have done some terrible stuff with the children. This is number one blackmailer, that makes the church look bad. It's not about listening to every Dick and Harry, what the opinion is. You know what I mean? It's not, you have to listen. But this is like, this stuff they're talking about, this synodality is like global warming when these liberals bring it up. Now they have thrown away that phrase. They're not using global warming anymore. The same thing because they have switched to climate change, you know what I mean? Now, the same thing they want to do with this synodality, you know what I mean? It's not about listening. It's not even about joining together, even according to their definition. It's not about joining together. is about these people that have agenda, but they have to use some certain things to camouflage because they're in the church anyway. You cannot bring everything. You have to use. They have to devise a means to bring their stuff out. They can't just do some stuff openly. You know what I mean? Because if they're joining together, they should know that the number one problem many Catholics all over the world, especially if you love the church, the number one issue is that we don't like to hear that a prominent figure like Bishop has, done terrible stuff like child abuse. This should be something that should have been occupying the church place because it blackmails the church. I mean, it hinders the little one from coming to the church. It makes it, when you have this kind of news, going around, and there's most of them true. How can people will lose faith? But these people are not talking about it. They are talking about how to make church, change the church for these few minority of people that have their own agenda. Like the LGBTQ people, they want the church to bend for them, just because we have seen that everything else have bent for them. The government have bent backward for what they want. So these people, their next target is the church to bend. They want the church to bend backward for them and accept their own way of life, you know what I mean? And we see that those people organizing this synod, because they spent 3 days talking about this, means that this is their agenda right from the time. It's not a good agenda, I don't like to criticize what the church does, but I'm not the only one doing that, It doesn't uplift people, but sometimes we have to make our feelings known, and because when he's listening, listening to us, and I believe but the problem I have is that they don't listen. They listen to only a particular, 1% of the church. The church is made up of sinners. We understand that. But when you look at the other, you can't use because of 1% and ignore the 99% of people and how they feel. They want to bring on an agenda of stuff that doesn't matter to most of the Catholics. We don't care about these issues, especially the Africans. But we see that this is what the church is always battling with the dark forces, and we continue battling the dark forces until Jesus returns. But and we know that the dark forces will not overcome, but they will try. Because when Jesus said that, the power of hell will not overcome, it means that they will try, but they will fail. And that's what they're doing now. They're trying, but they're going to fail. Peace.